we can get everybody together and talk about what we want to build. This group's been a hugely collaborative network in its history. We've gone from nothing to something significant in just a couple of years, and I think this is a chance for us to reassess and expand and build more. So that's part 2 of the call. But we did want to start with a good solid foundation of where we're at and what we've got available, and we wanted to have Sarah do that for us because that's what she wakes up every day thinking about, is ACCE's organization, its architecture, how we get information to members, make it accessible. She knows all the ins and outs, so we wanted to have her share with you everything that's going on. So we're going to start with Sarah, and then we're going to unmute your line so it can be a regular conference call and you can hear everybody. And we'll do that in the second half. Okay? So first, Sarah, go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Ian and Hannah. I'm very glad to be here, and I want to show you some of these great resources that Ian was just mentioning about. In our new information area here on the website, you can see we've recently redesigned our website. So the information area is now under an area just called information, very handily named so. You've also heard of us called as HERO, the Health Expertise Resources Online area. And I want to show you several features that we have available for diversity and inclusion specifically. We'll talk briefly about Chamberpedia, which many of you have used in different areas, perhaps also in diversity and inclusion, as well as samples, which we have several diversity and inclusion specific samples, as well as numerous policies and plans and documents that you can use on an everyday basis for your chamber. And as Ian mentioned, the HERO team, Holly South and myself, we collect this data for you, and we make available through the website. We also provide one-on-one assistance through our Ask ACCE feature. So you can always email us at hero@acce.org or use our Ask ACCE section of our website to reach us and let us know what kinds of resources you're looking for. If you come to our site and can't find something, we're always available to help identify and collect materials to make your job easier. So we'll start with just the overview here of Chamberpedia. As you know, if you've come to this section before, it is organized by overall main subject area, and diversity and inclusion is its own section, which we have numerous resources available for you. Our webinar announcement says you can learn about supplier diversity programs, inclusion policies, and supporting minority-owned businesses. And that is all available in our diversity and inclusion section. So if you come to this main area, you can read through, you'll find numerous resources as well as a link to the division for diversity and inclusion, which many of you are already a part of. You can visit this. We'll show you a little bit more about that as well. Sticking with the Chamberpedia section, you can find individual diversity and inclusion topics listed here. I mentioned about supplier diversity programs. Basically, the entire section provides that resources available to you to help your local businesses for minority-owned programs and incentives. Several new areas, if you've looked at this in the past 6 months, you'll find that this area, as well as all of Chamberpedia and much of the ACCE site itself, is constantly growing. We are adding resources all the time, and new pages, new resources to help meet your needs. A couple of new pages that we have available are the diversity and inclusion events, which include those programs that chambers have produced to make minority businesses thrive in their communities. So these are several examples. We are seeking additional diversity and inclusion events from your chambers. So if you have examples you'd like to highlight here, we'll be talking a little bit more about that, as well as a call for additional information to add to our diversity and inclusion section. That's one new area I mentioned, as well as promoting the Minority Business Development Program. This is fairly recently been reviewed and added to You can find numerous programs here, as well as our call for additional information that we hope to get from you all. Another area is the Women in Chambers work. This is a new page we just rolled out a few months ago. Several examples. If you have a Women in Chambers program at your chamber, again, we welcome your examples to add to this area. This includes events as well as roundtables and councils, things that chambers are doing to help with women-owned businesses. And we also have promoting diversity and inclusion. This area includes some examples about what boards are doing to support inclusion policies. The Greater Cleveland Partnership is one that we have several examples for their board composition and engagement. We also have, outside of the diversity and inclusion page, we have a section dedicated to bylaws. And you can always find bylaws. You can find examples up here through our search on our website, as well as through the general Chamberpedia area. I'm just going to go this route, so this is an easy way to access bylaw examples. And I should just mention real quick that Chamberpedia is basically our one-stop shop. Chamberpedia pages are where we add your examples, articles from Chamber Executive Magazine, as well as policy, guides, and other resources that we collect. So you can think of Chamberpedia as the one-stop shop. Again, we welcome your samples and contributions to this area. And we also have the samples library, which many of you have used, and I'll show you that a little bit more in depth. Here's our example of our bylaws page. You can find several examples of bylaws from chambers. We are always collecting new and updated bylaws, so if your chamber has one specifically geared towards diversity and inclusion, or inclusion to the board, we would definitely welcome that to add to our samples library. So you can see on Chamberpedia pages, we do add specific samples that go to our samples library. I'm just going to pull up the samples page here. Again, if I click on information, you can just go directly to samples, the samples library. This has over 1,200 different examples, documents. You can find items by the browse option. We do have a category here for diversity and inclusion, as well as numerous other areas. If you click on that, these are examples that you have sent us over the past couple of years, and we've added that to the samples library. So if you do send us a diversity and inclusion specific sample, we will add that to this category. As well, you can also search by keyword, and this will identify any example in the sample library that has that word in it, diversity, for example. So we have several of those resources available to you just by the search. And these are all basically resources you can use for your chamber. You can download your Word documents, or PDFs, sometimes images, JPEG files, and sometimes Excel spreadsheets as well. So there are numerous examples you can use, and with that sample library focus, again, these are resources your chambers have submitted to us and are willing to share with their other chamber counterparts and peers. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to connect with chamber counterparts and peers through the division roster for diversity and inclusion, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So know that you can find resources either through the diversity and inclusion section of Chamberpedia, or by going to the samples area and doing a keyword search or a browse by to obtain samples. Again, just a reminder, you can always contact us through the ACCE, and one of us will respond to your inquiry within 24 to 48 hours. So know that your questions are always being responded to. And in fact, your questions actually help us build the resource even more. So the more questions you ask us, the more resources we can identify, and then that helps all chambers in the long run. So it's a really nice cyclical process. I do want to mention as well about our research products that we have available. many of you participated in a quick poll, diversity and inclusion quick poll we ran back in 2012. We do have plans to run that quick poll again this coming year, hopefully 2014. So if you have feedback on that, the original one is just available here, Diversity Initiative, ran March of 2012. If you have feedback on that original quick poll, we certainly welcome that before we rerun this new one. So watch for announcements coming about that. There are as well other quick polls that you can browse and search through. We run these numerous quick polls a year, and we do welcome ideas for quick polls. And also back on our research page, I just want to make a quick mention about our newest resource available to you that's free to all members. It's Dynamic Chamber Benchmarking. You may have heard about it if you attended convention. It's a new software platform that we have available that combines the operations survey, which has statistics about chamber revenue, finances, expenses, and membership statistics, all available through Dynamic Chamber Benchmarking. And the system also combines the salary surveys. So for those of you who are CEOs and your delegates, you can participate in the salary survey. So while that's not specific to diversity and inclusion, it is specific to your chamber work and helps you get an idea of exactly where your chamber stands. We are offering individual webinars and demonstrations on Dynamic Chamber Benchmarking, how to use it, how to build reports. There are numerous features in here, including a compare chambers profile, which lets you view exactly how your chamber stands compared to the 25th percentile, 50th, and 75th percentile, as well as being able to build reports through a reports and charts section. And you can download reports in PowerPoint in a matter of seconds. Again, these are things like membership statistics and finance, salary survey information, and so forth. So if you have any specific questions on the new survey software for operations survey and salary survey, the HERO team is happy to help you with that as well. And I just want to also mention about convention. If many of you attended convention, we now have several of the handouts available. That's under review here on the main website. If you click on ACCE Annual Convention, you can mouse over to session handouts here. You can also view about 2015 convention. So if you're looking for session handouts, those are available right here. You can also, if you have specific questions about convention, a presentation that you attended, we can also help you with that just by asking through our Ask ACCE feature. And then lastly, I want to mention about Staying Connected. I've mentioned that several times throughout this brief overview of HERO and information resources. You do have several networking options available to you from our Networks tab. And again, divisions and groups are all listed here. Diversity and inclusion is here available. You can use that. You can also find exactly who is a member of this division by clicking either on the advisor, council, or community. So you can see your chamber counterparts and peers just by clicking on these circles, and then view members of this division, including their contact information. So this gives you a wonderful way to connect with chamber peers and talk more about resources and giving additional examples. You can always sign up for the different divisions and networks through this area I mentioned here by clicking on this. There's also an option under the menu. If you click on My Account, you can go through and identify the different areas that you would like to sign up to, either divisions and groups or for specific communication. So basically, just to wrap up about information resources in the HERO section, again, use Chamberpedia as your one-stop shop, and we have that specific area on diversity and inclusion. We do welcome your examples to help continue to grow this area, and your questions also help build these pages out and benefits all members, as well as samples. There are the diversity and inclusion samples, And then we mentioned about research, dynamic chamber benchmarking, and quick polls, which we plan to rerun a diversity and inclusion quick polls in 2014. So I'm going to turn this back over to Ian now, and we'll begin to facilitate the discussion and open up the line. I'll work on getting that set up here.
Hey, thank you so much, Sarah. For everyone here listening in, we're going to get the lines opened up so you can talk and ask questions. I can't see what's happening on my end, Sarah, so if you can let me know when everybody is on.
Okay.
Again, the point here was to show everybody both where to find what we've already got and help give you a sense of what we've got already, not just to show you, but also so we can help grow this a little bit more. It's been one of our goals in this division from the outset to compile both the network, the people who are leading these initiatives at chambers and in communities across the country under ACCE. I think I'm unmuted now. Can you all hear me? Can I hear you?
Now it's muted.
No, we hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. I'm sorry.
Is that Doris?
Yes.
Hi, Doris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you could hear me. I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, please, ask a question.
This is excellent. As an African-American chamber, and we're the 10th largest in our region, we have had some nice accolades on what we do. How can I share some of our information on this website and with other chambers, and they can pick and choose if they find that it will be of value to them? But I mean, I'm willing to do that.
Hey, gee,
because
Doris,
our chamber is very diverse. It's 78% African-American, and the rest is white, Hispanic, Latino, and Indian. So we've got a diverse chamber intact. But we've got some programs I'd be willing to share.
Doris, you asked the perfect first question, because it really gets to one of the big points of why I wanted to have this call for this group right now, and that is to introduce the newest member of ACCE's team. Her name is Hannah Nyquist. She's here with me now, and she came to us from the Grand Rapids Area Chamber. Many of you who have been on these calls in past years have heard from Sonia Hughes, who's the chair of this group. I think Sonia might be on the line today, too. Hannah worked on the team with Sonia in Grand Rapids, came out here with her husband, who took a job in the D.C. area. We were fortunate enough to be able to hire her and bring her on as the newest member of ACCE's team. She's not exclusively working on the diversity and inclusion area. She's working for us in what we call community advancement. So that's public policy, economic community development, and diversity and inclusion, and education attainment. That whole big bucket of you guys making your communities a more competitive and better place to work and live and invest. She's connecting the dots, making sure that you guys are connected to each other. She's got a big portfolio, but one of her first and most important assignments is to make sure that we are rapidly expanding the content available to members in diversity and inclusion. So, Doris and everybody else on the call, we now have somebody on staff who's focused on getting your stuff online. So if you guys will send to us, you can either send it to hero@acce.org. That'll connect to the HERO team, and they can farm things out. I'd love to get you connected directly with Hannah. And actually, I'll just let Hannah speak up. Hannah, anything you want to say or an introduction?
Well, hi there, everyone. I'm really excited to be working with you all on this very important issue. I am happy to help you out with if you're looking for information, or if, like Ian said, you're interested in sharing some information about what your chamber is doing. More than happy to accept those questions or submissions. And you are all welcome to contact me at any time on my email address, hnequist@acce.org. That is HNEQUIST@acce.org.
And what we'll have Hannah do is send out an email to everybody on this call after the call, so you have her email address and can reply directly to her. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. I'm still here, and we'll still be actively involved in this group, but we've got a little backup now. So for everyone who submitted stuff in the past and it took a long time to make it up, we fixed it. Doris, does that handle what you were looking for?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure, following this example, because I could not hear her very well, we need to follow the template that was demonstrated for the kind of materials we send to you.
We'd love it if you'd do that. The outline she's given, each of these pages are a little bit different, so you'll see different formats as you look around the site. We'll take what you've gotten however you want to send it to us, but the more you're able to package it up and give us a little bit of context so that we can share that in a more easy fashion, the better. Yes.
Thank you.
Other questions for Sarah about the website? It is a new look and feel. If you haven't been to our site in a little while, if you're just logging on and you haven't been on in a couple months, you'll notice that everything is different. There's a new logo and actually a new name. ACCE is now the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. So stuff is in a slightly different place, and we're going to be refining this over the next couple of months. But other questions about how to get to stuff? Okay, hopefully you found something new in there, or a new avenue to some of the information on our site you didn't know about previously. The second half of the agenda for this call, and again, I'm going to rely on you guys to speak up here, but we'd like to identify a couple of areas right off the bat that we can tap you all to expand online resources in the diversity and inclusion area. As we just paged through this, and hopefully some of you guys have been looking on your own, are there areas that you'd like to see us grow quickly? Maybe Hannah can go back, or Sarah, maybe you could go back to the main diversity and inclusion page and scroll down a little bit so we can see the primary topics there. So we've got diversity in the marketplace, diversity and inclusion events, minority business development programs, promoting diversity and inclusion, women in chambers, workforce diversity and workplace diversity. Is there a big thing that anybody's been to our site that would like to see that they don't find?
Ian?
Yes.
I have never been to your site, and I am new to my job, so you can just tell me if this is not an appropriate question. But one of the things that I had been looking at just recently in regard to our diversity program here at Southwest Indiana Chamber, we had played with the idea of trying to send out a survey to our members to find out about their inclusion and diversity programs. Do you have anything that is already done that would be something that maybe we could just customize? Because the questions that we had originally sent out didn't really give us the information that we needed.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on what you're hoping to learn about your members?
Well, you know, we're looking to see whether or not they even have diverse spending goals. We're looking to see, you know, what kind of certifications they would be looking for if they did have them. You know, a general feel for, you know, we're starting our diverse program right now pretty much from scratch. We're going to be doing a mentor-protege program, but we're also looking at the inclusion piece, and we just don't have a real good aggregate, if you will, of just what's happening with our in commerce here in Evansville when it goes to diversity. And we kind of like to be able to benchmark you know, this is where we're starting, and this is, you know, the progress we've made in the last 12 months kind of thing. So we don't, you know, so creating a survey, I guess, of sorts that we could just know if organizations are actually using any kind of goals and, yeah, how they're trying to go about finding people, businesses.
Well, I see Sarah's going to our survey, which is pretty chamber specific. Sarah, if you could you? And I'm sorry, I don't have control of the mouse. Sarah, if you'd go back to the main hero page on diversity and inclusion, and then go to promoting diversity. And under there, I think we have at least one good example here. Knoxville Chamber's Diversity Champions Report. Doug, are you on the line? I don't hear Doug. I know they based this report, which you can download from us, on a survey, and that was their very first survey. There are a couple more longer-standing supplier diversity surveys that I know about at chambers, particularly the Cincinnati Chamber is a really robust one. But this was a first-year survey of their marketplace and the employers in their marketplace on diversity initiatives. So you can see the report there. We will track down after this call the survey instrument that they used and try to put that online as a supplement.
Great.
Actually, I'd also go ahead.
I was going to say we're kind of working with, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but Knoxville Chamber because of their diversity program. So this is perfect.
Great, great. Well, we'll follow up on that after this call. I'd also turn that back over to anybody on the line. If you've got a great survey you've been doing for a while and have refined a bit and would be willing to share, please speak up. We'll make sure we reach out to you. Okay. Sorry, and your name from Southwest Indiana, please?
It's Dorothy Pergola.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi.
We'll be in touch.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, surveys is a great area for us to expand. We'll make sure we get out and find a couple of other good examples. Anybody else? Areas that you're looking for, you'd like to see more of, or things that you'd be willing to share that you've got? Okay. Well, look, I think we've probably got done what we hoped to do today, and that was really to show everybody exactly where you can go find the stuff we've already got, and hopefully encourage you to send a couple things our way. Things that you're most proud of, we want to share, and now we do have the staff resources to make sure that they're up. So get your stuff our way. Send it to iscott@acce.org. or Hannah Niequist, HNEQUIST, @acce.org, or even HERO. HERO is Help Expertise Resources Online. That's our team. You heard from Sarah earlier today. That's the team managing all of our information and research work. That's HERO@acce.org. Any of us will make sure we get everything posted online. We're pushing hard on this, and we want your help. Finally,
Ian?
Go ahead. Yes.
Ian, I have another question. We're just starting, like a lot of our programs. We've created something that one of the things that we're going to be doing is working with individual types of certifications at a time to help people learn about the industries that accept those certifications, and hopefully bringing not employers, but corporations and businesses that can work together because of the certification that they're going after. We haven't done that yet, but what I'm wondering is, when you're looking for examples of what people are doing, are you looking for tried and true kind of programs, or would you be interested in hearing about what we've done and whether it's worked, and would you be willing, do you want to document our journey as we create our program, I guess is my question.
Well, I think it's a fascinating article maybe for our magazine, sort of trace what you're doing and follow you for a couple of months or years. When we look for examples, we're looking for some tried and true, but we also realize that everybody's at a different stage in this work and has different needs based on the other players in their community. A lot of chambers, including some on this call, I'm sure, are in a region that already has a pretty strong certification program already in place somewhere outside the chamber, and they're tackling more corporate leadership diversity issues or talent diversity issues maybe. Or their role is more running great summits that are pushing the whole dialogue forward for an entire region. So we try to span the gamut, and that's the challenge after this group too. We want to be as reflective of where all the members of this group are at and what your needs are and where your strengths are, and be basically a mirror back of what you and your peers are doing. So yes, we'll take what you got. We may work with you to curate it a little bit and make sure the context is right so that it's most helpful for chambers that are going to be following in your footsteps.
Okay, good.
We want to make sure we have something for you at whatever phase you're at and whatever problem you figured out that you need to address.
Ian, this is Crystal from Cincinnati.
Hey, Crystal.
Can you hear me? Okay, just want to make sure you can hear me. Just want to also throw out that the conference calls are a great avenue for those type of, hey, we're trying something new, to be shared, because I think for folks who are listening, it sparks ideas in their head, as well as then they can say of any pitfalls that they have fallen into trying something similar.
Yeah, and we do have another conference call on the calendar. I think Hannah just posted it today, November 4th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a Tuesday, I believe. So that'll be our next one. We haven't got a theme for that one yet. It'll be a different format. You won't have to log in. There's just a phone number. You call in, and that's kind of what Crystal's describing, an open flow, peer-to-peer dialogue. So, and we do those regularly. We try to get them in every other month. Next one on the calendar, November 4th. So for anybody else who's new, who's dialing on because they're trying to figure out what we're doing in this area, that's one of the primary ways that this group has connected over the past couple of years, and we'll continue those in addition to our meetings at the conference. Crystal, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything to follow up on from our meeting in Cincinnati, Crystal, or Sonia, if you're on the line too?
Is Sonia there?
Looks like Sonia, she just needs to enter her PIN in, and then she'll be unmuted. Unless you can you talk now, Sonia?
It says I'm connected. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we hear you.
Connected.
I'm sorry, I don't know why you couldn't hear me earlier. I kept speaking. I'm like, hello, hello. One thing that came out of the conference was questions around how chambers are measuring the impact of their diversity and inclusion, and also the commitment as stated in maybe the organizational vision. So if there's great examples of that, there are members looking for that. Hello?
Yep, and we do have a couple of the organizational vision statements up, but not a lot on the metrics front. So if there are others on the call who have either of those areas, something going on, we'd love to have that and share it. Okay, well, we've eclipsed the half hour, which was our original cutoff point. I do hope this has been valuable. We felt like we hadn't given people enough of a private and exclusive tour of their areas of content on the website, and that's why we endeavored to do this today. We'll go back to our regular format, open flow calls for the next one, November 4th, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you've got ideas for that call, something you'd like to make sure we spend a long time addressing, please shoot me a note, or Sonia or Hannah, and you will get follow-up. Anybody on the call today will get a follow-up note for how to send us stuff and get involved.
And this is Sarah again at ACCE. I just want to mention too, if you and your staff would like a specific HERO demo, we can always do that, the same kind of format through a webinar format, or we can take phone calls, and again, you can always reach us by email. Ian mentioned that before, hero@acce.org. So we're always happy to help connect you with the right resources, whether it's diversity and inclusion, or communications and marketing, or the new research software through dynamic chamber benchmarking. We're always happy to help identify the right resources for what you're working on at your chamber.
All right, everybody. Well, that will conclude today's webinar. Thank you all so much. I hope to talk to you on the 4th of November.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
Thank you.